You're listening to TomK and Alpha's super awesome film show with TomK and Alpha.
Oh yeah! What is up, everyone? Welcome back to TomK and Alpha's super awesome film show with TomK and Alpha. I am TomK, Tom Kraft, Mr. Kraft if you nasty. Alpha, say hello.
Hey, it's Alpha. Tonight, we're going to be reviewing Transformers 2, some DVDs that are coming out Tuesday. Then we're going to tell you about how to treat your Netflix good and, maybe talk about some movies that deserve a second chance. I'm going to send it back to you, Tom, to...
Glad, because you said that wrong. I wrote in the notes every week. It's not treat your Netflix. It's not treat your Netflix good. It's treat your Netflix
good.
Because Anyway,
it's like 3 extra O's.
Yeah, you just heard the voice. We have a special guest tonight. He is from the Stream.tv's Real Cool Club, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern on Mondays. He's also done commercials for H&R Block, ESPN, Domino's, Pepsi, NVIDIA, and Raisin Bran. He's been all over the place. He's pretty much a baller. From Los Angeles, Jimmy Callahan.
Hey, everybody. Guys, thanks for having me on the show. It's an honor and a privilege.
Well, we're just going to get right into it. Go ahead.
Okay.
All right, we're just going to get right into it. Transformers came out on Wednesday and actually killed at the box office, which stuns me to death. Alpha, you saw it, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. I saw it on a midnight screening on Tuesday night. And let me tell you, that's the way to see a movie like this. The energy of the crowd is just, you can't beat it.
How'd the show go?
It was awesome. I mean, I love, and another thing I love about this movie, and with it being a midnight screening, is it's the crowd is actually going to applaud in the movie, just like you would if you were at home with your friends. You're gonna hear everybody laugh. It was awesome. I love the movie. It's a good story. I personally liked. I couldn't find anything totally wrong with the movie, with the exception of there's some points where I was just like, really, And there was one part where I swear it was so close. There's almost a Megan Fox nip slip. Almost.
Oh, you're a classy man.
Well, the thing is that they have to have an almost slip because she's the only reason for anyone to ever see that movie, or the other Transformers movie. I mean, she is raw sexual energy, and she is sweating and greasy all the time. And I don't think that that's just in the movie. I've seen pictures of her, and she was on Letterman the other night. She's always sweating or greasy. It's like this is what you would picture her, post-coital. She is always greasy.
Yeah, I'm with Jimmy. This movie just really had no draw at all. I don't know why I got sucked into it, but I'll give it this. The visual effects in this movie were fantastic. The effects look fantastic, but the story was so twisted and just messed up. It was almost like Michael Bay was trying to do an art film. It was just so convoluted and whatnot. Where do I begin, really?
I've been wanting to hear your argument here on this, Tom K.
Okay. Well, it starts out with I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it starts out with Sam. He's going to college and he finds a piece of the big sphere from the first movie. It's in his pocket. Burns the whole The Allspark, thank you. The Allspark burns a hole through the kitchen and sets all the mechanics on fire, sets all the appliances ablaze, and they become Decepticons. Bumblebee blows out of the garage and destroys the house. All that fun wildness. And I don't know when it happened, but okay, I think the thing is, this movie was just god-awful too long. This movie was longer than The Dark Knight was. And by hour 2, I'm just, they picked up Michael Turturro somewhere, and they're, in the middle of Egypt. And it's just dragging on for a half an hour. There was no action scenes for 45 minutes, which you can't do that with a Michael Bay movie with a Robert Orsi script. It's just it's part of the chosen. I don't want to be chosen. It was, and there were just too many robots, too many identical robots. If there's a fight scene, I couldn't tell what was going on. It looked like just a giant asteroid made of metal cars just flying around. It could have been a great art film if they just like turn all the sounds off, cut it down to about a half an hour long, and just rapid edit the crap out of that thing. It would be a great art film. But this is just how did this thing make like? I think it made like 100 and something million this weekend. It was huge.
I think within just this weekend, yeah, it's made about 100 mil. But overall, like it's come close to almost beating The Dark Knight in its 5-day run.
You know what? I think that they could have, like, it was such a big draw this week that they probably can like eliminate the national deficit by how much money they're going to draw for this stupid movie.
They really could, except like it's all going to go.
This should be part of like Obama's stimulus plan. Like, we're going to get the money from whatever Transformers draws in.
Oh my god! And it would work. It would work, and it'd be better than making Transformers 3.
Okay, Alpha. It sounds like you enjoyed the movie. Tom K. It sounds like you did not. I saw the first one, and I refused to see the second one. And I'm just going to go through like a couple observations, and because you guys are both, it seems like you're on opposite sides of the fence. You tell me how right or wrong I am on this.
Okay.
So like first of all. Transformers, like, you know, watching the cartoon growing up, it was like they were just like cool robots. They weren't like, I never thought of them as organisms that were living and could, you know, change shape into any fucking thing. It was like Optimus Prime was a semi-truck, you know, and like Megatron was a gun, you know.
Oh, you would hate what's going to happen in the Transformers 2 then. There's one flaw, a huge plot hole in this movie. One of the Decepticons transforms into some little hot college chick. The Decepticon becomes like a woman. I'm like, they could have done that in the first movie and be done with it. Like, turn the Decepticon into Megan Fox and kill Shia LaBeouf in the first 10 minutes. Movie over. But no, we'll put a little random hot chick into college and just try to kill Shia.
Yeah, but I think when they were writing the first movie, they realized that if they would have, nobody would have liked it, you know, and it wouldn't have done as well if they would have killed Sam off at the very end, you know, because Sam, although the Autobots are really the heroes of the movie, Sam is the protagonist, hands down, is the protagonist. He's very deeply involved into the story.
We discussed this last week. Shia LaBeouf is a great actor, and he's just wasting his time doing a 3-hour-long space robot epic.
Although forgetting whatever else Shia LaBeouf has done, like him as this character, you know, this is how bad writing can change an actor. Like as Sam Witwicky, the goofy guy who keeps on fumbling and bubbling. It's like he's a Jewish stereotype. Like it's like he's a young Woody Allen. And it's like, how is he getting this hot girl? It doesn't matter how cool you are or how many robots you hang out with from, distant planets or whatever, Cybertron. Megan Fox would still never go out with that dude. Like, her character would never, ever go out with that dude. And he's just like, he's like the cool protagonist in this movie, but he's not. Like, I just don't care how, I don't know. It doesn't matter what you do to Shia LaBeouf. Like, he's not like the stud dude. And I don't know. It just...
Right. But
exactly.
The protagonist, the character of Sam Witwicky, yeah, you're right. He's not the stud, but at the same time, he's like the guy who took that, like in the first movie, he took the chance. And granted, in real life, it might have backfired, you know, but he came through in the end. I loved it, to tell you the truth.
He also got a free 2009 Camaro to pick up chicks in. That kind of helped.
But at the same time, yeah, no, that definitely helped. But at first, it was a clunker.
It was still a Camaro.
Hell. Yeah, it was still a Camaro, but he got it for like what, $2,000.
I drive a Tacoma. I can't pick up a girl in Tacoma, but if I got a Camaro, yeah, I could like roll to a parking lot and get a girl because it's a busted ass Camaro.
Yeah, but I'm driving. But then again, you know, it gives hope to the average guy. You know, kind of like, oh, maybe not really.
One day you can find a free Camaro and fight space robots, and you can bang
exactly.
I think like basically, I'm going to tie in a little Paul Blart Mall cop in this. I hope you appreciate it. I did not see that movie either, There's a paper, I think it was the LA Times, but it showed a picture of Kevin James as Paul Blart Mall Cop, and he's like being dragged behind a motorized wheelchair, like as an old lady is like dragging him or whatever. And the review just basically said, like in the caption for the picture, if you think this picture is funny, go see this movie. You know, it's like, and if you don't think that's funny, then you're not going to like the movie because, like, you know, clearly. But so I read that in this movie, in Transformers 2: Revenge of the Fallen, which I guess is supposed to be like Empire Strikes Back. I read that it had the biggest explosion in the history of cinematics.
It did, and
I guess there's like, my point is like, they should, for the review for Transformers 2, they should just show like a screen capture of the explosion and say, if you think this is cool, you will love this movie.
I'm pretty sure it was in the trailer.
Oh, well, it probably was. And so it's like, if you think that's cool, then if that's what you find cool in a movie, if that, you know, your summer blockbuster, then you'll like that movie. But if you don't care about a huge-ass explosion and slow-motion running with sweaty people, then you're not going to like the movie.
Actually, I think what the movie boils down to, really, I look back on it now, what this movie really was like a live-action imagining of Team America World Police. Because you have a bunch of like Air Force people and a bunch of giant robots destroying the entire world. They go to Egypt and blow the pyramids up. They do everything, you know.
Yeah.
So if you like World Police and want to see that happen, like in a more realistic setting, go see Transformers 2.
Yeah. Except I wager that you won't be able to find a retarded Matt Damon though.
True. You probably won't, unless Matt Damon decides to act retarded, which probably might not be too much of a stretch at times. But you know,
not to get too far at the point. But do you guys know the story behind why the puppet Matt Damon is retarded in that movie?
No.
Like real quick. So Trey Parker and Matt Stone were having all these puppeteers, you know, create the you know, puppet versions of these actors and whatnot. And so they created the Matt Damon one, and it looked retarded. And they're like, "Oh no, this looks like it has Down syndrome." I'm like, "You got to make another one." And they went through 4 or 5 different puppets, and they all looked retarded. So they're like, "We got to make it." He wasn't originally retarded in the script. They're like, "We got to make him retarded." And like that's what I love about those two guys.
Oh my god.
So
okay. Well, let's keep doing this. What's up next? DVDs are coming out on Tuesday. There's a few that are coming out that need some recognition. First of all, Alfred didn't want to talk about this movie, but oh my god, the Jonas Brothers concert movie comes out on Tuesday. Jonas Brothers.
I'm very against this movie. I'm not. I
don't see why. I mean, oh my god, it's just a free concert. It's like a $15 concert. Just whenever you want to watch.
I don't care. I don't care about the Jonas Brothers. I don't like their music.
Neither do I. I'm just fucking with you.
I mean, the only reason that we're reviewing this is so that we don't like piss off any of our fans that are like preteens that apparently, you know.
If Jackie listens to this, Jackie
or WestJet. Oh my god, you know.
But also coming out on Tuesday, exactly what Jonas Brothers movie needed. 12 Rounds with John Cena is coming out on Tuesday, and oh my god, you know, what else do you need besides like John Cena just kicking ass again? The guy is huge. It's just he's goofy. He can't act, but oh my, you want to laugh for like an hour and a half? Just rent this and watch the ridiculousness of it. Like this, he's snapping necks and shit. It's amazing.
As hard as this movie tries to not be, you know, like an action movie, that's how easy it is for it to be a comedy. You know, that's my opinion of it.
Pretty much.
I think all movies like that, like including, you know, anything involving The Rock, like they have to stop trying to make it serious. It's like, you know, I don't care what happened in your childhood, Rock's character or John Cena. Like I mean, just you know, embrace who you are and you know, snap some necks and like, you know, like drive cars fast and say cliche lines and like, you know, we don't need to know that your father abused you and that's why you're doing all this.
Yeah, but I mean. You brought up The Rock. I mean, I think it's a good thing that The Rock went from doing all these action movies because, you know, he started out with doing The Scorpion King, The Mummy Returns, and some of these other action movies, where he was a badass, but then, you know, he started doing all these comedies where, you know, he's he did a couple of these Disney movies. What was
The
the
Game
one?
Plan.
The Game Plan. Race to Witch Mountain, I heard, was more of a, it was like a light action movie. It wasn't really that big, but it was a lot funnier than anything. But then again, it was a Disney movie, so
I'm going to go back to it. Any actor who's being pigeonholed into the same roles, like The Rock is the goofy macho guy who gets thrown into a kiddie situation, you got to go on Law and Order and play a rapist.
or you have to play a closeted homosexual or like a really like flamboyant gay man.
The Rock already did that.
The Rock already played a gay man and what was it? Be Cool?
Didn't work.
Oh man, I've got to put something on my queue. I was not aware of that.
It's a sequel to Get Shorty, and it's pretty bad. But The Rock plays a gay guy in it, and that's about the highlight of the movie. Wow. Also coming out on Tuesday is Two Lovers. It's Gwyneth Paltrow, Joaquin Phoenix. The last movie Joaquin Phoenix made before he went batshit crazy. And I don't know anything about the movie. I just know that.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one either.
It's the last Joaquin Phoenix movie that he's ever going to make, apparently.
Before he does gangster rap.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's, I mean, like, I just don't, like, it's such a departure from, like, everything that you think you know about a guy. Like, obviously, like, what do I know about Joaquin Phoenix other than, like, his movies, and he kind of had a crush for his fictitious sister in Gladiator. But, like, if he was going to leave acting, if you were told this, years ago, and you had to pick, like, what genre of music that he was going to, like, pursue, pretty much the furthest from my mind, besides, like, picking up the Peruvian pan flute, would be, I'm really into rap. And, like, I'm like, what? Like, I mean, like, I just, I don't know what it was, but, I mean, like, you would expect, like, something very, like, indie rock from him, or, like, folk rock, or, like, alt country or something, and he's like, no, I'm just going to lay down some fat beats and beatbox. And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
I say good for him, though. Good for him. Let him.
Oh, yeah, I mean, like, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Like, it's your life.
It could end up being an amazing record for all we know. It could be, like, Grammy Award winning.
It's true. It's true.
I actually have not heard any of Joaquin Phoenix's stuff yet.
Well, nothing's come out yet. Nothing's come out. Something on YouTube, maybe, but nothing's really been released yet. And one other movie coming out on Tuesday, I'm really excited about this, the 20th anniversary edition of Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing, which I thought was a fantastic film. It's like one of the few movies I've actually seen where the director plays the main character and can pull it both off at the same time. It also stars Danny Aiello, Michael Turturro, Rosie Perez, set in like 1980s New York. Lots of racial tension. It's just an amazing film. Soundtrack's great, and the new version has a new Spike Lee commentary and deleted scenes. So I'm psyched. I'm gonna get it.
It's classic stuff. It's like some of his best stuff next to the Jordan commercials.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie was really good. I haven't seen it in a long time, but last time I saw it was, I'd say, about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was just as good then as it was when I originally saw it back in like the late 90s. So I would say it's worth renting if you really love the movie. It's worth buying if you don't already have a copy.
It's a great place to just show off to friends who have no idea how films work. Like, oh yeah, well, I got a dodgeball and epic movie. Well, I brought Do the Right Thing over. Let's make it real. Let's get real for a minute. And and so now we get to the fun times. The fun times.
Oh yeah, the party in the back.
Party in the back with the mullet. Yes. Well, Jimmy, you're our guest tonight, so I'll let you start off by treating the Netflix good. What'd you bring to show and tell today?
Okay. Good.
Whichever one you want. The one where it's My
old favorite that people might not have seen. I don't know if you guys have talked about this movie before, and it's weird. It's like a cult classic. So a certain demographic really loves it, but it's sort of missed. Like, I don't know, a a whole other demographics. But the movie Kicking and Screaming, and I'm not talking about the Will Ferrell movie of 2005, but Noah Baumbach's movie of 1995, starring Josh Hamilton, Chris Eichman, Eric Stoltz, Parker Posey, and how do you pronounce her name? Olivia Diabo, I think is how you pronounce her name. But anyway, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie, but basically it's like set in a like an East Coast college town, and kind of like small liberal arts school, and just a group of friends who it's like some of them have graduated college, some of them haven't, but they all just don't know what to do with their lives. So they're stuck in that college town and trying to. It's almost like a coming of age story, but just very, very dry, very sarcastic, and definitely not the best movie ever made. But it's definitely a Q-worthy movie. Just it's one of my favorites. It's just really funny, but very dry. So if you don't like sarcastic, dry movies, then it's not your bag. But if you do and you haven't heard of it, it's a hidden gem.
No, I know I saw Baumbach's second movie. I saw Squid and the Whale. Is it like that at all? You seen Squid and the Whale?
Squid and the Whale is definitely more. It's a lot darker, and he's trying to be more emotional. I mean, like Squid and the Whale was. Yeah, I mean, I didn't like it as much as Kicking and Screaming. Kicking and Screaming is just more kind of like. It's almost like a slapstick comedy meets like a Wes Anderson movie. There's a lot. It's very sarcastic and very dry, and but it has some heart to it though too. It's not complete fluff or anything like that by any means. It's more artistic, but it's not as disturbed as Squid and the Whale, which I guess is probably the best word to describe that movie. It's not. There's no pretense or preachiness to that movie. It's just like, oh, what do you do when you graduate college? I don't fucking know, And but it's a really fun watch. Eric Stoltz has a great almost like cameo role in it, and I highly recommend it if you guys haven't seen it.
I gotta check it out, definitely. My choice for the Netflix today is this old film. I finally got a copy of it, 1987's Wings of Desire by Wim Wenders. You may know the storyline may sound familiar to you. It was remade in the 90s as City of Angels with Nicolas Cage and Meg Ryan, which it just shat on this version. This version is a remake is bad enough. A Nick Cage remake is the end of all, be all good things. This movie is beautiful. It's mostly shot in monochrome. It's shot in this sepia tone kind of feel, and that's from the point of view of the angels. There's two angels, Bruno Ganz and Sylvia de Martin, are these two angels who come to Berlin, watching over the crowds and just transitioning people from life and death. And the Bruno Ganz character, Cassio, no, not Cassio, the other one, I forget his name, Daniel. Daniel finds this trapeze artist, and becomes infatuated with this woman, and slowly tries to transition to become human, become mortal. And it's just an amazing film, shot beautifully by Henry Ellikin is the cinematographer. It's an amazing, amazing film. It's hard as hell to find, though, so I'm sorry to say this, but your best chance is to download it, because unless you want to spend $60 on a copy of it like I did from eBay, or at least YouTube it. It's an amazing, amazing film. It also has a cameo by Peter Falk. It's in German and English, color and black and white. It's also shot in '88, so there's a lot of Berlin Wall scenes before the Berlin Wall fell. Beautiful looking shots. Wow. Take it off. Yeah, Alpha, you can go ahead. What do you got?
This week I'm for Treat Your Netflix Good. I'm gonna suggest. I'm gonna suggest Fatboy Run. I rented it and I thought it was a good movie. I mean, it was funny. It was a feel-good movie at the same time too, and I liked it. That, and I just like Simon Pegg. I love the movies he's done. Mm-hmm. So, and another Simon Pegg movie that I guess you can go along with this pick that I've never been able to get enough of is Shaun of the Dead. Everybody's probably seen it 100 times, but it's worth seeing. If you can find it for like $5 or less, it's worth buying for that amount. I mean, it's a good movie. It's if you have a movie
it's
night,
hilarious too.
Yeah, and it takes all the usual parts of a zombie movie, and it just throws it out the window and just pisses on it. It's like, screw it, we're gonna do a zombie movie our way, and I couldn't beat it. So
it's awesome. Speaking of zombie movies, my fiance just picked up a book. It just hit the shelves, I guess. It's called Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
Oh,
and it's the movie. It's the book Pride and Prejudice, except they're zombies. And
really?
I think that's awesome. Yeah,
that does sound awesome. I'm another zombie book. I know we're a movie podcast and a movie show, but it's speaking of zombies. If you want to read a good book that has to do with zombies, go out and buy, or if you can go to a public library and find it, World War Z by Max Brooks. It is a great book.
I'm still reading it right now, actually. It's amazing.
Oh, I loved it. And it's the way, when you read it, you'll feel like they're real people that are in the book. Because it's written as, as the writer is interviewing these people for a magazine or a newspaper article or something like that. And they're believable stories, and you just get sucked in, and there's this great visual imagery all through the book. So pick it up. It's a good one to read.
Also, word is like in production hell right now. They're making this into a movie.
I know.
Brad Pitt's Plan B production company picked it up, and rumors are supposedly it's going to have a Children of Men kind of feel to it, which psychs me out. Children of Men kind of feel to this zombie movie would be just. It could be genre defining. This could define the zombie genre and actually put a zombie movie into a Best Picture category, which would be so sick.
I would actually. I think that, and then I don't know if somebody might have picked it up or thought of. I might have heard rumors about it, but if that movie does well, I heard that somebody was planning on then after that doing the zombie survival handbook or the survival guide.
You can't make that into a movie though.
I think somebody was going to write the movie in such a way that it would work. Like I don't remember exactly how they were gonna. I heard about it. I just remember hearing about it somewhere.
Because I know they've made war movies based on journals and diaries from people who've been at the wars, and this is almost the exact same thing. It's a fake war, but it's still an oral report of this epic zombie infestation worldwide. And they got, rumor is Mark Forster, the guy who did I think he did Casino Royale. I think he did. He's on to direct it. Quantum of Solace. He did Quantum of Solace and Stranger Than Fiction, Monsters Ball. So he's a decent director. So if they get this thing worked out right, it could be amazing.
I'm really excited, just even from when I originally read that last year.
Yeah.
Just a quick note. Going back to TomK's selection. It's funny, for people listening, if you are looking for Netflix movies beyond just the ones that we've said, if you know that a movie that you've seen is a remake, just do yourself a favor and find the original one, because I would say 7 times out of 10 it's probably better.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have you heard somebody say "Oh man, that one's good. Scarface is good, but you gotta watch the original." And then you do, you're like, "Holy shit, this is pretty damn good."
I have to say though, Funny Games. It came out last year. It was originally done by Michael Haneke back in 1997. The thing is though, he took his own movie and remade it. It's a little bit different. He wrote it. Yeah. So
that's just insane.
But it worked. It was so much better though. I don't know, maybe because he just had a bigger budget, and this time he had Naomi Watts and Tim Roth in it. I don't know. Just the budget was bigger and better. Yeah. I think it gave more meat to it. But yeah. Often, I like both Scarfaces. I really can't pick.
Oh yeah, well I would say okay, man. I think it was 10% too fair. I would say 6 out of 10 times.
Okay,
6 out of 10 times.
Gotcha.
The remake is a little bit worse than the original.
All right. What was the second movie you brought, Jimmy?
You know what? The second movie I brought is it's a movie called In Bruges, which I am about to watch tonight, actually. But the reason why I bring it up is because it relates to another movie I'll tie in. It's set in Europe, and my brother and my future brother-in-law both were like, "Dude, you gotta see this fucking movie." I'm like, "Okay." So it comes highly recommended from two sources, but you can get it on Netflix right now. But they said that it reminded them of The Saint with Val Kilmer. And that's like a guilty pleasure of mine. I just thought that The Saint was a cool, fun movie, despite Elizabeth Shue's performance. But if you can put in Bruges, and I'll give you the spelling. It's in, as in the word in, Bruges, and it's sort of like a crime thriller. As far as it's like a dark comedy crime thriller set in Belgium. So it's like two professional killers like meet and get into trouble. Like it's but it reminded them of The Saint with Val Kilmer, which if you haven't seen that, is definitely worth putting on the queue just for a fun like spy movie.
I actually chose this movie last week, but it's still.
You chose In Bruges last week?
Yeah, but it's an amazing film. Colin Farrell won Best Actor for it, and he won the Golden.
Goddamn! I forgot to listen to last weey's podcast.
That's all right.
Who's the asshole? Okay. Who's the asshole now?
It's fine. It's fine. It's second chance. So Colin Farrell won the Best Actor for Golden Globes, Best Comedy. It's an amazing.
There you go.
It's also it also has the comedy and if you want the comedy and the violence, a little bit of violence to it too. It's an amazing film. You'll like it.
Well, I'm glad that we now I feel smart and cool because I picked a movie that Tom K picked.
But you describe it. I couldn't describe it as well as that. I didn't even see it yet. I mean, come on.
Well, I'm pretty smart. So
this week for my second film, I chose The Weatherman with Nicolas Cage, and I honestly usually hate Nicolas Cage, but The Weatherman. I was second. Yeah. I think it's because the reason I like it so much is because Michael Caine is the co-star, and every movie, no matter what movie you're in, Michael Caine will make you look good when you do it. Okay, Michael Caine can just act circles around anybody and make Nicolas Cage look good, and he does. In this movie, Nicolas Cage can actually somewhat carry himself because he's not playing an action star; he's playing a loser.
He is.
Exactly. There's no fake hair pieces. There's no fake hair pieces. It's directed by Gore Verbinski, the guy who did Pirates of the Caribbean, actually. It's shot in Chicago. It's beautifully shot in Chicago. The whole story is Nicolas Cage is a fantastic weatherman. He's making lots of money, but his family hates him. His father's Michael Caine, who's a Pulitzer Prize-winning author, and he's more successful than the weatherman will ever be. And it's just him trying to reconnect with his overweight daughter and his ex-wife and his father before the father's slowly dying. It's an amazing film, and it got shat on in the box office because it came at the wrong time. Really, it came out in October.
And I totally agree with you. I saw it. I didn't see it in theaters, but I saw it on Netflix, and I was pleasantly surprised too because people would recommend it to me. I'm like, man, number one, knock against it. It's got Nicolas Cage in it. How can I sit through this?
That's the biggest strike one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But no, you're totally right. He's playing. It's one of those things where it's like an actor is they're not so much acting as you feel like they're almost playing themselves. I.e., the wrestler with Mickey Rourke. It's he's just kind of playing himself, But Nicolas Cage, it's like when it's almost laughable during this movie. When you're watching, you're like, how much more could he fuck up and ruin his relationship with his family? And it's he just did, and you really feel kind of sorry for this pathetic dude. And also since it was shot in Chicago, I'm from Chicago, and it was shot there when I was still living there, and so I've got just as a personal note, I've got a few friends who have small under 5 parts in the movie, so it's just cool to see them in the movie. So,
oh yeah, cool.
But yeah, I recommend it too. It's one of the besides Raising Arizona and maybe a couple others, the most tolerable Nicolas Cage movie to come out in 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Alpha, what's your last pick? What'd you get?
I have two movies. I'm going to tell you the one and then the other one. My first one for Second Chance Cinema. Well, should have been more for Netflix, but I'm going to put it here anyway. It's a zombie movie. It's made by George A. Romero. It's his most recent work is
Oh no.
Diary of the Dead.
Oh no.
I loved it. I liked it, but then again, I like zombie movies. I've always liked George A. Romero's work. At least visually, it had a good visual feel to it.
Alpha, we get to fight right now.
Do we? I figured we would.
This movie depressed me to no end. George Romero, I know he has like the get out of jail free card because he did invent the genre, but
exactly
they took it from him. The guys like Sam Raimi and Zack Snyder took the genre from him. Danny Boyle. This movie, just the intro is what killed me. The intro is pretty much like, I think the female character. The whole premise of the movie is it's just a bunch of archive footage documenting this zombie attack, and pretty much like the girlfriend survived the attack, and so now she says, and like I quote this, it's not verbatim, but it's like I'm paraphrasing. She added music and edits and sound effects to add the drama to it. In other words, it wasn't really going to be like Cloverfield was, but that movie got really popular, so we're going to just say there's music here for a reason because it's dramatic effect. Like,
yeah, but I mean, if you like this movie, of course you're going to like Cloverfield. But I mean,
no, I like Cloverfield and I hate this movie. I like Cloverfield. I hate this movie.
Oh yeah, no, but I loved both movies. I love this movie basically mostly because I read about it and I never saw it in theaters, and I was always wondering what was going on with it. And then I was at my favorite movie rental place, and I just happened to see it on sale, and I thought, man, I've been looking for a copy of it, and it's the only time I've ever seen it. I've not seen it anywhere else, and I'm so glad I bought that copy. I mean, I've watched it I don't know how many times with one of my friends, and we loved it. But I mean, yeah, there were moments where you're just kind of like, okay, you're making a movie about zombies within the zombie movie, and you've seen other zombie movies, but you don't know what to do.
Exactly. That's what killed me about this movie.
That is the only
that was the
worst thing about it. But I mean, I liked it for the characters. I mean,
the flat one-sided stereotypical jock, slut,
of course,
black guy, old guy. I mean, okay, you've seen the new Dawn of the Dead. You've seen the old Dawn of the Dead. You've seen all the old Romero stuff, right? Have you seen the old zombie stuff that he's done?
I have seen. I don't know if I've seen the old Dawn of the Dead. I did see the new one. I saw the original Night of the Living Dead. I saw it wasn't really a remake, but it was more of a rewrite of Night of the Living Dead, which that one wasn't so great. You
got to go back to the originals. You got to go rent the original Night, Dawn, and Day. Here's your zombie movie checklist right here: original Night, original Dawn, original Day. The new Dawn. Get Shaun of the Dead. Get what is it? Oh, Evil Dead 2 is good.
And going back to Evil Dead, because
28, you gotta get 28 days and weeks. Those are good.
28 days, 28 weeks later. Those ones, I don't know if you can totally consider them zombie movies.
Crazy
because they're not dead. They're not the undead. But I will. We
got to wrap the show up.
Okay, my last movie,
and then you have to get The Island of Dr. Moreau because I think that he was a zombie in that movie.
Okay, and then my last movie, it's going to be the last one. We're probably not going to talk about it too much because it's so good. Is Toxic Avenger Part 1.
My head just hit the desk.
Really? You don't like Toxic Avenger?
Defend yourself. Why do you like it?
It was raucously funny. There wasn't a moment where I wasn't laughing. I mean, yeah, it's older. It was made on a lower budget. I loved it. The story, yeah, it's kind of campy. But, that works for me. I kind of liked it.
I guess I've never been a fan of trauma films. So maybe that's why.
That could be. I really didn't watch a whole lot of Troma films until I saw the first Toxic Avenger, and actually I grew up, there was a Toxic Avenger cartoon. So that's how I kind of got into it.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we got to close the show up. But in regards to last week's episode, Alpha, now I found the thing you're talking about on IMDb. Federico Fellini does have a credit in a new film coming out, 2009, called Voyage to Tellum. It's because it's a really old script that he wrote back before he died. That's why he has credits on there.
Yeah,
so.
I figured that after I was talking with somebody.
But
it was fraud, but yeah.
But he's not making anything. He's been dead for 15 years. He's not making anything.
Yeah, I misspoke, but you know.
Well, I just want to say thank you tonight to Jimmy Callahan for stopping by.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys. Anytime.
Yeah, you're welcome back anytime. I am TomK. Alpha, you want to close this out?
Yeah, I'm Alpha. And
awesome! Good night!
I'll cut you off. I said, baby, let me cut you some more. 'Cause if you don't, you a whore. If you don't, you a whore.